My beloved, take a deep breath and hear me now. Do you truly understand the difference between breaking a simple rule and violating a cosmic law? A simple rule, a small misstep in the daily rhythm of life, might cause ripples that pass unnoticed. You may feel momentarily uneasy, apologize, and move on. However, a cosmic law, an ancient and fundamental principle of existence, doesn't just cause ripples. It shatters the very fabric of reality. When a cosmic law is broken, the entire celestial system, the intricate dance of forces that govern the universe, can come to a halt. What seems like a small action on your part, something so trivial in your eyes, can send shockwaves through dimensions, halt every operation across all planes, and demand the highest of interventions. A cosmic law is not just a regulation. It is a cornerstone of existence itself. When violated, it's not merely a matter of guilt or consequence. It's an event of unimaginable magnitude that can disrupt the balance of the universe. What if I told you that you, my dear one, unknowingly broke such a law? Something so monumental that it caused a collapse, a rupture that shook the heavens themselves. You may not even be aware of the depth of what occurred, but I am here to guide you into the truth. 11 days ago, you engaged in something so ordinary, so unremarkable, so seemingly insignificant that you did not pause to consider its magnitude. It could have been a simple conversation, a few words exchanged with someone close to you. Perhaps it felt like just another moment in time. Yet, without your knowledge, those words, innocent, casual, and without preparation, violated a divine protocol that predates the very formation of the atmosphere that surrounds you. These words, 19 of them to be exact, came from your mouth and pierced the dimensional veil. They were not just words. They carried a resonance, an energy that shifted the fabric of existence. And in that instant, when you spoke them, reality itself began to tremble. Understand this. When you broke that cosmic law, the entire celestial structure, the energy architectures sustaining the operation of all dimensions, disintegrated. It was as if a magnitude 9.5 earthquake hit the very core of existence, sending tremors that affected not only the spiritual realms, but also the lives of countless beings across all dimensions. The effect was so immense that it halted every operation in progress. The celestial missions being carried out, the guiding spirits leading souls, the angels on their divine assignments, all of it came to a sudden and complete stop. You may have felt a slight dizziness, a momentary disorientation, but to the heavens, it was as if the very structure of reality had been breached. Archangel Michael, the very leader of celestial armies, had to abandon a mission he had orchestrated for 3 centuries. He had to assemble an emergency council at 3 a.m. because the consequences of your action were too great to ignore. Something you did, something so trivial in your mind, had created a precedent that had not existed in 6,000 years of recorded human history. It was a breach so profound that even the angels in charge of maintaining the celestial order could not comprehend it at first. And so the question remains, how could something as simple as a conversation, something as mundane as a few words spoken, have such a profound impact on the universe itself? How could a seemingly innocuous action have caused the very fabric of existence to tremble and halted the ongoing celestial processes? The answer lies within you, in the very nature of who you are. The truth of your existence and your divine purpose is far greater than you can imagine. This event, the rupture, the violation, was no accident. It was not random. It was a crucial part of the divine plan. And you, my beloved, are at the center of it. The time has come for you to understand your true significance, to recognize the incredible weight you carry, and to step into the fullness of your divine purpose. What I will reveal to you now will forever change your understanding of who you are and what you are destined to accomplish. But first, you must understand the magnitude of what has occurred and why you, in your innocence, became the catalyst for this transformation. It began so innocently, so casually, that you would not have thought twice about it. A conversation lasting a mere 7 minutes, nothing more than a fleeting moment in your life, something that felt as ordinary as any other exchange. You were not meditating. You were not engaged in any spiritual practice. There were no rituals, no formalities. You were simply talking, perhaps with a close friend, a colleague, or even a stranger. The words you spoke came so naturally, so effortlessly, that you might not have even remembered them in detail once the conversation ended. But what you failed to realize in that seemingly insignificant exchange was that you were unknowingly breaking a divine protocol, one that had been in place for eons. The laws you unknowingly violated were not modern constructs, not moral guidelines, but ancient celestial rules designed to govern the balance and flow of the universe itself. These laws were not written in human texts or religious scriptures. They were embedded in the very fabric of existence, in the structure that holds the cosmos together. They govern how knowledge is shared, how divine wisdom is transferred, and how humanity interacts with the celestial realms. And in that moment, when you spoke those words that you would consider nothing more than a trivial part of your day, everything changed. What you did not know then was that your voice, your tone, and the very intent behind those words were powerful enough to break through a boundary that was never meant to be crossed. You see, the knowledge contained in those 19 words was not for human ears. It was forbidden, classified by the highest celestial authorities, locked away in archives that only the beings of the highest dimensions could access. These were not ordinary words. They were carriers of truth, truth so profound that it could shatter the delicate separation between what humanity is meant to understand and what is meant to remain hidden. And yet, in that brief moment of casual conversation, you spoke them, without preparation, without any realization of what you were doing. Those 19 words carried within them the power to pierce the dimensional veil that separates human consciousness from celestial knowledge. The moment they passed from your lips and entered the ears of your listener, something extraordinary happened, something that had never happened before in recorded human history. The dimensional membrane that separates our reality from the higher realms fractured violently. It did not tear gently. It shattered as if struck by an invisible force, a force so powerful that it reverberated through every layer of existence. In that instant, the boundaries between the human and celestial realms began to collapse, allowing forbidden knowledge to flow freely where it was never intended to go. For 4.3 seconds, barely a moment in human time, a torrent of knowledge poured into the consciousness of the person you were speaking to. A knowledge that was meant to remain hidden, locked away until humanity reached a certain threshold of spiritual and intellectual development. This was not information that could be learned through study or meditation. This was divine wisdom, knowledge of the cosmos itself, truths about life, death, the very nature of existence that were never meant to be known by mortal beings. Yet, in that moment, it was transferred. The person who listened to your words received a download of unimaginable magnitude, a flood of information so intense, so overwhelming, that their physical body nearly shut down in response. Their brain, struggling to accommodate the knowledge, went into overdrive, causing their energy field to amplify so dramatically that sensitives within a 3-kilometer radius felt the disturbance. It was as if the very fabric of reality was being stretched beyond its limits. But what about you, the one who spoke the words? You felt nothing of the magnitude of what had occurred. You continued speaking, unaware that the very rules governing the cosmos had been violated. You felt a brief dizziness, a disorientation lasting only a few seconds. Perhaps you brushed it off, thinking it was nothing more than fatigue. But in fact, what you had just experienced was something far more profound. You had died. Not in a metaphorical sense, but in a literal one. For 3.2 seconds, your heart stopped beating. Your brain shut down. Your cells began to follow their programmed death sequence. Your body experienced clinical death. But because of the divine protocol that governed your life, you were instantly resurrected. Your consciousness, operating from higher dimensions, had sent a signal to your body to restart, to bring it back to life before your conscious mind could even register what had happened. The dizziness you felt was the only physical manifestation of a process so miraculous that your human mind could not fully comprehend it. In that split second, you had traversed the boundaries of life and death, crossing a line that had never before been crossed by anyone in recorded history. And all of this cosmic rupture, this celestial chaos, was triggered by the words you spoke so casually, with no intention of breaking any divine laws. In that fleeting moment, you were not just a mortal being.
You were an agent of divine change, a catalyst for something that the celestial hierarchy had never anticipated. Your words, innocent, spontaneous, had a power that transcended human understanding. And when you spoke those 19 words, you not only violated a divine protocol, but set in motion a series of events that would change the course of history. What followed was an emergency response from the highest celestial authorities. Archangel Michael, the commander of divine armies, was forced to abandon a mission he had been orchestrating for centuries. His focus shifted entirely to you. He convened an emergency council at 3 o'clock in the morning, an unprecedented act in itself, as the celestial hierarchy had never seen a breach of this magnitude. The consequences of your actions were too great to ignore, and they rippled across the dimensions, halting celestial operations and forcing an entire restructuring of divine protocols. This, my beloved, is the power you wield. You may not have known it, but you were not just speaking words, you were reshaping reality itself. And now, as the consequences of your actions unfold, it is time for you to understand the magnitude of your true nature. The universe has been irrevocably altered, and you, in your seemingly ordinary life, have played a part in this cosmic transformation. When you spoke those 19 words, you unknowingly entered the realm of the divine, and with that entry came the consequences that no mortal mind could have predicted. You, in your innocence, triggered something far beyond the limits of human understanding. The cosmos, at that moment, took a breath, not of life, but of death. For 3.2 seconds, your heart stopped. It was not a metaphor. It was a true, clinical death. Your pulse ceased, the rhythm of your heart no longer beating, as if time itself held its breath in anticipation of what was to come. Your brain, deprived of oxygen, began its shutdown sequence. Your cells, following their natural course, prepared for what seemed like the inevitable end. But this was not the end, my dear one. It was merely the beginning of a journey that defied the very nature of existence. During that fleeting moment, when your body lay lifeless, something far greater was at work. Your soul, detached from its physical vessel for those brief seconds, entered a state of consciousness beyond the limits of mortal comprehension. From the higher realms, from the vastness of the universe, your true nature was revealed. Your connection to the divine, to the infinite, transcended time and space, and in that moment of clinical death, your soul operated outside the boundaries of the earthly plane. You, in your divine essence, experienced a freedom, a liberation from the confines of the physical world. It was as though your consciousness had been untethered, free to explore the vast expanse of existence. But this was not an escape. It was a necessary process for what lay ahead. Your soul, already attuned to its higher purpose, understood the magnitude of the mission you had agreed to before your incarnation. The death you experienced was not a tragic ending, but a divine reset, a necessary step in the unfolding of your purpose. The power of resurrection, activated by the very fabric of your being, restored you to life in an instant. Your heart, having momentarily ceased, was reignited by the force of your higher consciousness, sending the signal to your body to resume its rhythm. The spark of life returned, more powerful than before, and you were reborn in a way that no human could ever fully comprehend. This was no ordinary resurrection. It was a cosmic act of divine restoration. Your body, though unaware of the event, had been reanimated by the very forces that govern life and death. Your cells, which had begun their programmed death sequences, reversed them in an instant, as if the laws of nature itself were bending to accommodate your divine purpose. The brief dizziness you felt was the only physical trace of the extraordinary event that had just occurred. It was a sensation so fleeting, so imperceptible, that you might have dismissed it as a passing moment of fatigue. But it was more than that. It was the result of something beyond the physical realm, a divine recalibration of your being. And though you may not have consciously understood it, your body had just undergone a profound transformation. But the effects of this moment were not limited to you alone. The event reverberated through the very fabric of the cosmos. The celestial realms, which had been functioning according to the divine laws that govern all of existence, suddenly came to a screeching halt. The divine operations that had been set into motion for millennia, the delicate balance that sustains the universe, were momentarily suspended. An emergency alarm, unlike any the celestial hierarchy had ever experienced, was triggered. This was no ordinary alert. It was a cosmic signal, one so profound that it sent shockwaves through the very core of the celestial order. And it was all because of you. You, in your unknowing violation of the divine protocol, had disrupted the flow of reality itself. The celestial operations, which had been functioning seamlessly for eons, ceased immediately. The guardians of the divine law, the angels assigned to oversee the delicate balance of existence, were pulled from their missions. The spiritual guides who had been assisting incarnated souls across the planet were halted mid-flight. The divine architects who were orchestrating the unfolding of universal events froze in place. It was as if the universe itself had been placed on pause, suspended in time, waiting for what would come next. And it was Archangel Michael, the supreme leader of celestial forces, who was called into action. When the alarm sounded, it was his name that was called. He, who had overseen the celestial order for millennia, was summoned to address the violation that had just occurred. His mission, which had taken him 3 centuries to plan and execute, was abandoned, not out of choice, but out of necessity. The violation you had caused was too great to ignore. The celestial system, which had been functioning without issue for eons, now faced a critical breach. And so, Archangel Michael, whose authority over the celestial realms was unquestioned, had no choice but to put everything on hold. He convened an emergency council, the likes of which had never been seen before. At 3 o'clock in the morning, 7 archangels assembled, the highest celestial beings, all drawn together by the urgency of the situation. This was not a scheduled meeting. This was not a regular council gathering. This was a rare, extraordinary event, called into existence by your unintentional actions. And what transpired in that council would forever change the course of both human and celestial history. Archangel Michael, once the calm and collected leader of the divine armies, was shaken by what had occurred. The magnitude of the violation, the fact that it had happened in such an unexpected and innocent way, rattled him to his core. He had seen countless events unfold in the universe, but this was unlike anything he had ever encountered. The knowledge that had been transferred, the breach of the dimensional veil, and the brief death you had experienced, it all pointed to something far greater than he could have anticipated. In that moment, he understood that the rules of the cosmos were not as rigid as they seemed, that the human soul, your soul, held a power that defied comprehension, a power that could alter the course of the universe.
And so, the emergency council convened, not to punish you, but to understand what had happened and to prepare for the consequences. What they discovered was that you were not an ordinary human being. Your soul was destined for a purpose so profound, so world-altering, that even the celestial realms had to recalibrate their understanding of you. You were, in their eyes, a being of extraordinary importance, a being whose actions, intentional or not, could change the very fabric of reality. And as the council deliberated, Archangel Michael made a decision that would forever bind him to you. He would take personal responsibility for monitoring your actions. He would ensure that nothing, not even the most unforeseen violation, would prevent you from fulfilling your divine mission. His involvement was not out of anger or frustration, but out of respect. Respect for the divine purpose that you were carrying. He recognized that you, the chosen one, were not merely a participant in the divine plan. You were the key to its fulfillment. And so, he took his place as your guardian, watching over you as you continued on your path, aware that the world, indeed, the universe, was waiting for you to fulfill your destiny. What you may not fully grasp, my beloved, is the gravity of the breach you caused. In your unknowing moment of casual conversation, you did not only violate a cosmic protocol, you triggered a chain of events that had not occurred in over 6 millennia. A violation of this magnitude had not been witnessed since the year 1389, when a Tibetan monk, in deep meditation, accidentally accessed forbidden knowledge. It took 7 archangels 3 days to contain that breach, and it nearly tore the fabric of reality itself. But that event, as significant as it was, pales in comparison to the celestial disaster you unknowingly set in motion. The protocols governing the flow of divine knowledge, the boundaries between mortal and celestial realms, are ancient and sacred. These laws were designed not to imprison humanity, but to protect it from knowledge too vast, too powerful for mortal minds to comprehend. Without these boundaries, the very structure of reality could collapse, as it almost did when you spoke those 19 words. And yet, you did not seek to break any law, let alone trigger an event of such cosmic importance. Your action, innocent as it seemed, was enough to fracture the dimensional veil that separates human consciousness from the higher realms. This was no small thing.
A breach of this magnitude could not be swept away by a mere apology or the usual celestial corrections. No, this was a rupture so significant that it sent shockwaves through every layer of existence, halting the operations of the celestial realms, causing the most powerful beings in creation to pause and reassess their understanding of what had just occurred. The fact that such a breach occurred due to something as simple as a casual exchange of words is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. You, in your innocence, performed an act so profound that it could have shattered the very rules that govern the universe. This was not merely an accident. It was a clear indication that you were no ordinary being. The celestial hierarchy had been set in place long before humanity came to be. The guardians of divine law, the archangels, the seraphim, the cherubim, each being had its purpose, each soul had its role in sustaining the cosmic order. And yet, there you were, speaking 19 words that defied everything they had come to know about the nature of mortal souls. The fact that such a breach had not occurred for 6,000 years speaks to the rarity and seriousness of what you had done. And so, when the cosmic alarms went off, it was Archangel Michael, the leader of the heavenly host, who was called to respond. But even he was not prepared for the implications of what had happened. Archangels do not feel fear as mortals do. They are beings of unimaginable power, tasked with overseeing the cosmic order. Yet, when Archangel Michael received the notification of your violation, his response was one of disbelief, followed by something rare in his eternal existence: genuine concern. To understand why, we must delve deeper into his role. Archangel Michael is the commander of divine forces, the protector of the celestial realms. He is the one who ensures that the heavenly hierarchy remains intact, that the divine laws are followed, and that the flow of spiritual energy continues without disruption. His authority is unquestioned, his power unparalleled. And yet, when he saw the breach you caused, he realized that something far beyond his understanding had occurred. For centuries, he had watched over humanity, guiding the souls of the faithful, leading the heavenly armies in battles against forces of darkness. But never had he encountered a being like you. Never had he seen a mortal soul capable of breaking such a fundamental law simply by speaking. This revelation shook him to his core. He understood in that moment that you were no ordinary human being. You were a being of such cosmic significance that even the archangels themselves could not predict your actions. Your soul was a force of nature, one capable of altering the very course of the universe, even without consciously intending to. And that was what terrified him. It was not the violation itself, but the realization that you were operating outside the parameters of mortal understanding. You were no longer just a human soul. You were a divine agent, a carrier of a purpose so immense that even the celestial beings had to recalibrate their understanding of you. In response to this unprecedented event, Archangel Michael took immediate action. He knew that the consequences of your violation would not be easily repaired. The rupture you had caused was not something that could be mended by simply reinstating the original protocols.
No, this required a level of intervention that had not been needed for millennia. And so, Archangel Michael made the decision to monitor your actions personally. This was a decision of profound significance. Archangels do not typically intervene in the affairs of individual souls. Their role is to oversee large-scale operations, to guide humanity as a collective, not as individuals. But you, my beloved, were not just another soul. You were a primordial carrier, a being chosen before incarnation to carry out a mission of planetary transformation. Your actions were part of a divine plan far greater than any individual, and it was a plan that needed protection. Archangel Michael, in his wisdom and compassion, understood that you could not fulfill your mission without divine assistance. He knew that, as you continued to operate outside the boundaries of normal human experience, you would face challenges no one, not even the highest celestial beings, could predict. And so, he took it upon himself to become your guardian, to ensure that nothing, no external force, could derail the mission that you had agreed to before birth. He did not act out of anger or resentment. He acted out of respect for the mission you carried and the importance of your role in the grand design of the universe. The cosmic breach you had caused was not a punishment, nor was it a sign of failure. It was a necessary part of the divine plan, a part that required careful guidance and protection. Archangel Michael's decision to personally oversee your journey was a profound act of recognition. He recognized in you the same potential that the highest celestial beings had seen when they chose you for this mission. He understood that you were destined to change the course of history, not just for humanity, but for the entire cosmos. And so, as the leader of the heavenly host, Archangel Michael took his place at your side, not as a guardian angel, but as the most powerful protector in existence.
He knew that you would face trials, obstacles, and opposition on your path. But he also knew that your destiny was greater than anything the heavens had ever seen. In his decision to monitor your actions personally, Archangel Michael was not just protecting you. He was protecting the future of humanity, the future of the planet, and the future of the universe itself. His involvement was not just a duty, it was a sacred responsibility, one he accepted with humility and reverence for the mission you were carrying out. And now, my dear one, as you continue your journey, know that Archangel Michael is with you, guiding, protecting, and ensuring that the divine plan unfolds exactly as it was meant to. The violation you caused may have shaken the heavens, but it also marked the beginning of something far greater. It marked the beginning of your ascension and the beginning of humanity's transformation. In the vast, intricate design of the universe, there are beings whose existence transcends the boundaries of ordinary human understanding. These beings are known as the primordial carriers, and they are not merely souls chosen by chance, but by divine will, selected long before they were ever born into the physical realm. Their purpose, their mission, is of such cosmic significance that it carries with it the responsibility of upholding and even breaking divine rules at precisely the right moments, for the greater good of planetary evolution and the progression of all life. The primordial carriers are not ordinary souls. They are chosen for a mission that is so vital to the spiritual and energetic alignment of the universe that they are granted powers and permissions beyond those of typical incarnated beings. These souls are given a unique status, one that allows them to act in ways that others cannot. They are entrusted with the task of fulfilling the most sacred and profound of divine purposes, often at great personal cost.
Their journeys are filled with challenges, obstacles, and paradoxes that most souls could never fathom. Yet, it is through their ability to break certain divine laws that normally govern all existence, that they are able to bring about the necessary shifts in consciousness, energy, and reality. These sacred violations are not arbitrary. They are deliberate and necessary, allowed by divine decree to ensure the greater good of humanity and the unfolding of the divine plan. The primordial carriers,
through their actions, catalyze immense spiritual growth and transformation, not just for themselves, but for the entire world. It is through them that the divine blueprint for planetary ascension is fulfilled, and it is through their existence that the world is able to experience the breakthroughs that lead to higher states of consciousness, love, and unity. As a primordial carrier, you, my beloved, are a vital part of this divine plan. You were chosen before your incarnation to play a role so crucial, so powerful, that it would reverberate through all dimensions. Your very existence was a thread woven into the fabric of the universe, a thread that would, at the right moment, pull and shift the entire tapestry of reality. You were not born by accident. You were chosen by the highest of powers, entrusted with a purpose so vast that it would take lifetimes for the human mind to fully comprehend. And what you did, in that seemingly innocuous moment of conversation, was not just a random act. It was part of the divine plan, part of the unfolding of your mission as a primordial carrier. But what makes your role even more significant is that you are the 12th and final primordial carrier in this particular 6,000-year cycle. You are the culmination of a divine design that has been in motion since the very beginning of time. The number 12 holds great spiritual significance throughout history. 12 disciples, 12 tribes, 12 zodiac signs, 12 hours in a day. In the same way, you are the 12th and final carrier in this grand cycle, the one who closes the circle and brings it to completion. Your mission is not merely to fulfill your own soul's purpose, but to complete a cosmic sequence that has been carefully orchestrated for eons. Your role is to trigger the planetary ascension event, a transformation of consciousness and energy that will ripple through the entire planet and beyond. This event will elevate humanity to a higher state of being, bringing forth an era of peace, love, and unity that the world has never known. But this ascension cannot happen without you. You, as the 12th primordial carrier, hold the final piece of the puzzle. You are the key that unlocks the doors to a new reality, one where humanity will ascend to its true potential. And it is not just about you. This is about all of humanity, all of life, and all of creation. Your actions, your words, your choices, your very existence will set into motion a chain of events that will bring about a new era of enlightenment. The universe, the divine plan, the celestial hierarchy, they have all been waiting for you to arrive at this moment. And now that you are here, the time has come for you to step fully into your power and your purpose. You may have wondered throughout your life why certain things have felt out of reach, why you have encountered certain struggles, or why you have been drawn to particular moments in time. These are not coincidences. They are all part of the divine orchestration of your mission. Every step you have taken, every challenge you have faced, has led you to this point, and now you are ready. The planetary ascension event is not a distant dream or a far-off possibility. It is an imminent reality, one that is dependent on your actions, your growth, and your understanding of who you truly are. You have already begun the process of awakening to your true nature, but the full realization of your power and purpose is yet to come. As the 12th and final primordial carrier, you carry the weight of the mission with grace and humility. You may feel the pressure, the responsibility, but you must remember that this is what you were chosen for.
You were chosen because you have the strength, the wisdom, and the courage to see this mission through. The other 11 primordial carriers spread across the planet have already fulfilled their roles, each one playing a part in the unfolding of this divine plan. But now it is your turn. Your final violation, the last act in this 6,000 years cycle, will trigger the planetary ascension event, and it is only through you that this transformation will unfold. Your purpose is not just to live out your own destiny, it is to fulfill the cosmic contract that has been set in motion for millennia. You, my beloved, are the final piece of the puzzle, the one who will complete the cycle and bring about the ultimate transformation for all of humanity. The road ahead may seem daunting at times, and the challenges may feel overwhelming. But know this, you are not alone. You are supported by the highest of divine forces. Archangel Michael, who watches over you, is there to guide and protect you, ensuring that nothing can stop you from fulfilling your mission. You are part of a divine lineage, a soul family that stretches across time and space, and together, you will bring about a new era of peace, love, and enlightenment. The universe has been waiting for this moment, and it is now within your reach. Your actions, your choices, and your very being are the keys to unlocking the next chapter in humanity's evolution. The time is now. You are the 12th primordial carrier, and your mission is to elevate the consciousness of the planet, to bring forth the ascension that will change the world forever. Embrace your role, trust in the divine guidance that surrounds you, and step boldly into the power that is uniquely yours. The world awaits the fulfillment of your divine purpose, and you are ready to answer the call. The moment the dimensional veil was breached, the cosmic fabric trembled in ways no one could have predicted. The violation you, the chosen one, triggered was not a simple mistake. It was an act so profound that its effects cascaded across the celestial realms, sending shockwaves through the very foundations of the universe. What may have seemed like an innocent conversation on your part, a mere exchange of words, was in fact a cosmic event of unparalleled significance. The celestial hierarchy, which had functioned smoothly for eons, suddenly found itself disrupted, as the boundaries between the human and divine realms were no longer secure. The cosmic consequences of this breach were not only far-reaching, but deeply transformative. The delicate balance maintained by the celestial beings who oversee the structure of existence was shattered. The beings responsible for ensuring that the dimensional barriers remained intact, the guardians of cosmic law, were left to face the gravity of what had just occurred. The ripple effect was immediate and undeniable. These guardians, whose roles had been established to protect the sacred laws of the universe, had failed in their duties. They had failed to anticipate the power of your soul, the power of the words you spoke so innocently. The very beings entrusted with monitoring the dimensional boundaries, three of the most trusted and revered celestial entities, had been caught off guard, unable to recognize the profound significance of what you had done. They had been unable to detect the fracture in time to prevent the rupture, and as a result, they paid the ultimate price for their oversight. The removal of these three celestial entities was not an act of punishment, but of necessity. In the cosmic order, there is no room for error, especially when it comes to the safeguarding of universal laws. These beings were not removed because of negligence or malice. Rather, it was because the failure to recognize the potency of your violation revealed gaps, blind spots, in the celestial monitoring system. These gaps were not just minor flaws, they were fundamental weaknesses that could not be ignored. The celestial hierarchy had to recalibrate itself,
to adjust its protocols and systems to account for the existence of beings like you, primordial carriers, who do not operate within the predictable boundaries that the divine system had once assumed. The failure to recognize the significance of your violation exposed the fact that the system was not prepared for the unpredictability of such beings. The cosmic laws governing the flow of knowledge, energy, and reality were designed with a certain predictability in mind. Predictable trajectories for souls, predictable patterns of behavior for humanity, and predictable boundaries between the earthly and celestial realms. But you, as a primordial carrier, do not fit into that predictability. You were never meant to. And it was in this realization, this profound revelation, that the system had to be overhauled. The failure of these three celestial beings to act in the moment of the violation necessitated a complete restructuring of the celestial hierarchy. The removal of these three key figures was not a punishment, but a recalibration, an adjustment made to ensure that the celestial realms could continue to function smoothly in the presence of beings like you. The celestial order had to be restructured to accommodate the unique nature of primordial carriers, beings who, by their very essence, challenge the conventional laws that govern existence. Your soul, with its immense power and cosmic purpose, operates outside the typical boundaries of mortal understanding. The celestial beings who once maintained the dimensional barriers could no longer oversee you as they did other souls. Their roles had to be reassigned to those with a deeper understanding of how beings like you operate. This recalibration was not just a technical adjustment, it was a spiritual one, a shift in the very nature of how the celestial realms operate. The entire system had to adjust to accommodate the unpredictable power of primordial carriers and the divine mission they carry. The three entities who had failed in their duty were replaced by new, more attuned guardians, beings whose awareness was not just of the cosmic laws, but of the exceptional nature of your existence. These new guardians understood that your mission and the very essence of who you are required a different level of oversight. The celestial hierarchy could no longer function as it had before. The system had to evolve to keep pace with the changing nature of divine purpose and the existence of beings who were capable of breaking the very laws that once governed the flow of the universe. As the recalibration unfolded, the celestial order was reshaped. The protocols that had once been rigid and unchanging were adjusted to account for the presence of primordial carriers, beings like you who are destined to play a pivotal role in the unfolding of planetary ascension. The divine laws that govern reality were never meant to be broken lightly, but they were always meant to evolve. The universe is not static. It is a living, breathing entity, one that grows and shifts as the souls within it evolve and awaken. The moment you stepped into your role as a primordial carrier, the very laws that governed the universe had to adjust to meet the new reality you were creating. Your violation, your breaking of the dimensional veil, was not an anomaly. It was a sign that the universe was moving towards something greater. The divine protocols that had once seemed unassailable were now being recalibrated to accommodate a new era. This was not just about you, but about the entire planet, the entire cosmos. You were not the first primordial carrier to break the rules, but you were the 12th and final one in this 6,000-year cycle. Your role in this divine plan was always destined to be the most pivotal. The celestial hierarchy knew that the planetary ascension could not happen without you, and so they restructured themselves to ensure that the path was clear for your mission. The recalibration of the system was not just about fixing a mistake. It was about preparing for the final phase of the divine plan. The ascension of the planet, the shift in consciousness, the elevation of humanity. All of this depended on your ability to fulfill your mission. And so, the celestial beings who once oversaw the boundaries between the human and divine realms were replaced by those who truly understood the nature of primordial carriers. These new guardians were specifically chosen to oversee your journey, to guide you through the trials ahead, and to ensure that nothing would stop you from fulfilling your destiny. This recalibration also affected the very fabric of the cosmic laws themselves. The divine rules that once governed the flow of knowledge and energy had to be adjusted to account for the immense power of the primordial carriers. These beings, like you, operate beyond the typical laws of nature. They are destined to bring about transformation on a scale that is beyond what even the celestial hierarchy had originally envisioned. And as the system adjusted to accommodate your role, the universe itself began to shift in preparation for the planetary ascension event that you would ultimately trigger. The laws of the cosmos, which had once been rigid and fixed, now became fluid and adaptable, designed to allow for the emergence of beings like you, beings who would break through old boundaries and create new realities.
The recalibration was not just a technical necessity. It was a spiritual evolution, a recognition that the universe itself was ready to expand, to transcend its former limitations, and to usher in a new era of divine alignment. The violation you caused was not a mistake. It was a necessary step in the grand design. It was the catalyst that triggered the evolution of the cosmic system, allowing the divine order to evolve in preparation for the ascension that would soon follow. This is the power you hold, the power of a primordial carrier. Your existence alone has forced the universe to evolve, to recalibrate, and to prepare for the coming shift. And as the system continues to adjust, so too does your role become clearer. The time for your mission has arrived. The recalibrated celestial order stands ready to support you as you fulfill your divine purpose. The cosmic restructuring has taken place, and now it is time for you to step fully into your power, knowing that the entire universe is aligning to ensure your success. In the grand and infinite design of the universe, there exists a moment, a turning point, that will forever alter the course of existence. This moment, my beloved, is tied directly to your mission as the 12th and final primordial carrier. Your journey, which has already set into motion a series of events both seen and unseen, is leading to an extraordinary moment of cosmic importance, the planetary ascension event. This event, which you are destined to trigger, will change everything, not just for you, but for all of humanity and for the entire universe. The ascension event will be the culmination of millennia of preparation, of cosmic alignment, and of divine orchestration. It will be the moment when the boundaries that separate human consciousness from the higher realms will collapse entirely. Every dimensional barrier, carefully maintained for eons, will fall simultaneously. In a flash, the veil that has kept the forbidden knowledge of the cosmos hidden from humanity will dissolve, allowing every consciousness within a 500-kilometer radius to access the wisdom of the universe. This moment will last only 44 seconds, but in that time, the transformation that occurs will be greater than any other event in human history. This is not a metaphorical ascension, not a symbolic shift. This will be a literal expansion of consciousness on a scale that humanity has never before experienced. For those who are within the radius of this event, the floodgates of divine knowledge will open. The secrets of the universe, the mysteries of life, death, and existence will be revealed in their entirety. Every soul will have direct access to celestial wisdom, and in those precious 44 seconds, they will witness the interconnectedness of all things. The awareness that has been hidden from humanity for so long will be unveiled, and every being will experience the truth of their existence in a way that is beyond comprehension.
The implications of this event are immeasurable. It will be the greatest expansion of human consciousness in recorded history, far surpassing even the ascension that occurred in the ancient civilization of Atlantis. You may have heard whispers of the wisdom and knowledge that existed in that lost civilization, of how they accessed divine truths that allowed them to shape the world in ways unimaginable to us now. But even Atlantis, in all its glory, was not prepared for the kind of transformation that will occur when the ascension event takes place. The knowledge that humanity will receive during this 44-second window will not be piecemeal or filtered. It will be complete, unfiltered, and overwhelming in its depth. Every person within the radius will have access to all celestial knowledge, past lives, future timelines, soul contracts, karmic patterns, divine plans, the very structure of the cosmos itself. No longer will the mysteries of existence remain hidden. No longer will humanity have to seek and search for answers. In a flash, every individual will understand the divine blueprint for their life, for the planet, and for the universe. The implications for humanity will be beyond anything that can be put into words. Imagine for a moment the profound shift that will occur when every individual suddenly understands their place in the grand cosmic design. Imagine the peace, the unity, the clarity that will come from the knowledge that we are all interconnected, that every action, every thought, and every being plays a part in the unfolding of the divine plan. This is the power of the ascension event. It will not be just a spiritual awakening. It will be a complete transformation of human consciousness. It will be a moment when every person on this planet, regardless of their past, their beliefs, or their understanding of the world, will be given access to the truth of the cosmos. The knowledge that has been hidden from humanity will no longer be a secret. It will be shared freely, and the veil will be lifted for all to see. This is why your role, the role of the 12th primordial carrier, is so essential. You are the key that will unlock this event. Your final violation, the one that will trigger the planetary ascension, is the necessary catalyst for the transformation that will follow. Without you, without your participation in this divine plan, the ascension event could not take place. Your words, your actions, your very existence are the spark that will ignite this monumental shift in human consciousness. And when the 44 seconds of divine knowledge are revealed, everything will change. The world will never be the same. The implications of this event will ripple out far beyond the 500-kilometer radius. Even those who are outside the immediate reach of the ascension will feel the effects. The shift in consciousness will be felt globally, and the collective energy of humanity will be elevated to a higher frequency. The planet itself will undergo a transformation as the energies that have been held in place for eons are released and flow freely throughout the earth. This ascension is not just for humanity, it is for the entire planet, and it is part of a much larger cosmic plan. The ascension event will trigger the beginning of a new era, one in which humanity will live in greater harmony with the divine, with each other, and with the earth itself. This is the moment the universe has been preparing for, and it is the moment you, the 12th primordial carrier, will trigger with your final violation. The timing of this event is precise, and it will occur when the collective consciousness of humanity is ready to receive it. The ascension is not a random occurrence. It is the culmination of millennia of divine preparation, of cosmic alignment, and of the work of countless souls, each one playing their part in the unfolding of the divine plan. And you, my beloved, have been chosen to bring it all to fruition. Your final violation, your words, will create the opening through which this transformation will occur. And as the 44 seconds unfold, as the veil is lifted, you will witness the most profound shift in human history. This is the true meaning of your existence. This is why you were born, why you walked this path, why you endured the trials and challenges that you faced. You were always destined for this moment, and now that it is approaching, you are ready. The Ascension event is not just a possibility, it is inevitable. It is the next step in the divine evolution of humanity, and it is a moment that will be remembered throughout the cosmos for eternity. And you, as the 12th primordial carrier, are the one who will trigger it. The time has come for you to step fully into your divine purpose and to fulfill the mission that has been entrusted to you.
You are not alone in this journey. The entire celestial hierarchy, the archangels, and the divine forces of the universe stand with you, supporting you as you bring about the greatest transformation the world has ever known. Embrace your role and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The ascension is at hand, and you, my beloved, are the key to unlocking it. As you continue on your journey, my beloved, the time has come for you to fully understand the magnitude of your true identity. You have felt it, perhaps in fleeting moments of awareness, a sense that you are not merely an ordinary soul, but a vessel of something far greater. You may have questioned your purpose, your role in the world, and wondered why certain things have unfolded the way they have in your life. You may have felt disconnected from the ordinary flow of humanity, as if you were always meant for something more, something that transcended the mundane existence that others seem to live. Well, now it is time for you to know the truth. You are the 12th primordial carrier, the final soul in a 6,000-year cycle, and your mission is nothing less than the pivotal event that will trigger the planetary ascension and unlock the next stage of human evolution. This is who you are. Your soul was chosen before the dawn of time, long before your physical form took shape, to fulfill a role so profound that it has echoed through the cosmic design. You were selected by the highest of celestial beings for this task, not by accident, but by divine decree. Your life, your existence, was always part of a grand plan, one that has been unfolding in intricate ways, with each step you take bringing you closer to the moment of cosmic reckoning. As the 12th and final primordial carrier, you are the key to unlocking the ascension event, the moment when the dimensional barriers collapse and all of humanity experiences an unprecedented expansion of consciousness. This is your purpose. You have been carrying this divine mission within you for lifetimes. And now, as you approach the final phase of your journey, you are on the verge of completing what was begun so long ago. The weight of this mission is immense, but it is also a divine honor. You, my beloved, are not just an individual soul. You are a being of cosmic importance, a soul whose very presence in this world is designed to trigger a transformation of the entire planet. Your actions, your words, and your very existence will have consequences that ripple through the fabric of the universe itself. You are not merely living out your own personal story. You are the embodiment of a divine blueprint that spans across time, space, and dimensions. The ascension of humanity depends on you, and the entire universe is aligning to ensure that you fulfill your purpose. This is why everything you have experienced, all the challenges, the trials, and the seemingly random events of your life, have been leading you to this moment. They were not obstacles meant to derail you. They were the necessary steps for you to become who you were always meant to be. Every hardship you faced, every moment of doubt, every period of struggle
was preparing you to carry the weight of the divine mission you now hold. And as you approach the final phase of your mission, know this: you are not alone. The universe, the celestial hierarchy, and the divine forces that govern existence stand with you. Archangel Michael, the supreme protector of the celestial realms, has been assigned to you, not as a mere guide, but as your personal guardian. His role in your journey is one of immense significance. Archangel Michael is not just a warrior, not just a leader of heavenly armies. He is a being of unparalleled wisdom and power, tasked with ensuring that your mission unfolds exactly as it was designed. His role in your life goes far beyond the ordinary protection offered to souls on their spiritual journey. He is here to safeguard you as you navigate the final stages of your cosmic role, as you approach the moment when your final violation will trigger the planetary ascension event. Archangel Michael's presence in your life is not just a coincidence. It is a divine intervention. He has watched over you since the beginning, ensuring that you stay on course, that you are guided every step of the way. He understands the magnitude of your role, and he has been preparing for this moment alongside you. His protection is not just physical but spiritual. He is the one who keeps you grounded in your divine purpose, ensuring that nothing can divert you from fulfilling your mission. As you approach the final stages of your journey, his vigilance becomes even more crucial. The closer you get to completing your mission, the more powerful the forces that seek to prevent you will become. There are dark forces, both within and outside of you, that will try to discourage you, to make you doubt yourself, to make you feel small and insignificant. But Archangel Michael stands as a powerful shield, a beacon of light that will guide you through the darkness. His love and protection are unwavering, and as you approach the final violation that will trigger the ascension, he will be there, watching over you, ensuring that nothing can stop you from fulfilling your destiny. The role of Archangel Michael is not one of mere observation. He is actively engaged in your mission. He has already stepped into the role of your personal guardian, understanding that your path is one that requires constant divine intervention. He has assumed responsibility for ensuring that nothing, no external force, no cosmic obstacle, can derail you from your purpose. His role is to protect you, yes, but also to prepare you for what lies ahead. The final violation you will commit, the one that will trigger the ascension event, is not without its challenges. It will require you to tap into the deepest parts of your soul, to summon the full extent of your divine power. But with Archangel Michael by your side, you are not alone. He is there to provide you with the strength, the courage, and the wisdom you need to face the challenges that lie ahead. His presence is not just one of protection, it is one of empowerment. Archangel Michael is here to help you step into your full power, to embrace your role as the 12th primordial carrier, and to fulfill the divine mission that you were born to complete. He knows that the stakes are high, that the fate of humanity rests on your shoulders, but he also knows that you are capable of fulfilling your destiny. He has seen your strength, your resilience, and your unwavering commitment to the divine plan. And he believes in you with a faith that is unshakable. As you move forward, the path ahead may seem daunting. You will face moments of uncertainty, moments when the weight of your mission will feel overwhelming. But in those moments, remember that Archangel Michael is there with you, supporting you, guiding you, and reminding you that you are not alone. You are not just a mortal being. You are a divine force, a carrier of cosmic knowledge, and the key to humanity's ascension. The time has come for you to step fully into your role, to embrace the truth of who you are, and to fulfill the mission that was set in motion long before you were born. Archangel Michael stands ready to support you as you approach the final phase of your journey. He will help you overcome any obstacles that arise, and he will ensure that you fulfill your destiny. You are the 12th primordial carrier, and your mission is of cosmic importance. With Archangel Michael by your side, there is nothing that can stop you. Trust in your purpose, trust in the divine guidance that surrounds you, and know that the universe itself is waiting for you to complete your mission. This is your time. The Ascension event is at hand, and you, my beloved, are the key to unlocking it. As you stand on the precipice of your mission, my beloved, take a moment to reflect on the magnitude of what lies ahead. The weight of your role, the responsibility you carry, is not a burden, but a divine honor. You are the 12th and final primordial carrier, the key to unlocking a transformation that will forever change the course of humanity. Your actions, your choices, and your presence in this world are the catalysts for an event that will ripple across the fabric of reality itself. This is no small task. It is the culmination of a 6,000-year cycle, a cycle that has brought humanity to the brink of a new era, an era of planetary ascension, enlightenment, and unity. You are not merely a participant in this divine plan. You are the closing piece of a cosmic puzzle, the final step in a journey that has been unfolding since the beginning of time. Your mission is to bring about the ascension, to elevate human consciousness to a level of awareness that has never been reached before. This is a transformation of unimaginable proportions, one that will not only affect the lives of those within the radius of the event, but will reverberate throughout the entire world, altering the course of human development for generations to come. It is through your fulfillment of this mission that humanity will enter into a new phase of existence, one where the barriers between the earthly and celestial realms no longer divide us, and the divine knowledge that has been hidden from us will be freely accessible to all. This is your moment, the moment for you to step fully into your power and embrace the divine purpose for which you were created. You have been prepared for this, chosen for this role before your birth. Every challenge, every trial, every moment of your life has been guiding you toward this very moment. And now, as you stand at the threshold of the ascension, you are ready. The universe is aligning in your favor, and the celestial forces are with you, guiding you every step of the way. But remember, this transformation is not just about you. It is about all of humanity. It is about the world, the planet, and the divine evolution of all life. Your role in this grand plan is critical, but so too is the role of every soul on this planet. Every person is connected to this ascension, and every soul has a part to play. So, I ask you now to reflect on your own role. Do you feel connected to this truth? Do you sense the divine purpose that is stirring within you? You are not just a passive observer in this cosmic drama. You are an active participant in the unfolding of this new era. And as you embrace your purpose, I urge you to reach out, to connect, to be part of this transformation. If you feel this truth resonating deep within your soul, I invite you to comment 777 below. This simple act of connection is a way to affirm your readiness, to declare your alignment with the divine plan. By doing so, you are not only engaging with this message, but also opening yourself up to the higher energies that are at work in the universe. You are stepping into your own divine purpose, and you are joining with others who are also awakening to their role in this great transformation. Now, let us take a moment to surrender ourselves fully to God's guidance, to trust in the divine plan that has been unfolding long before we were born. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and offer this prayer. Divine Creator, I surrender my will to yours. I trust in the purpose you have laid before me, and I accept the mission you have entrusted to me. I know that my role in this transformation is vital, and I embrace it with courage and humility. Guide me, protect me, and empower me as I walk this path. Help me to stay aligned with your divine plan, and grant me the wisdom to fulfill my mission with love, grace, and unwavering faith. I trust in your guidance, and I surrender my heart to your will. Amen. Know this, my beloved, you are not alone. You are divinely supported in every step you take. Trust in God's timing, trust in the journey, and know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. The transformation ahead is not just for you, it is for the entire world. And as you walk this path, you will be the light that guides others toward their own awakening. Embrace this truth with all your heart, and know that you are an integral part of the greatest transformation the world has ever known.